Good morning, everyone. My name is Tetsuya Kaneko. I lead the research business at Savills Japan. Thank you very much for your interest in this session and also having me as the moderator for this exciting panel just before the lunch. And today, we are very fortunate to have these distinguished panelists to discuss key issues in the Japanese hospitality sector. We would like to cover several topics, starting from capital market, then government policy, and tourism strategy, and supply and demand imbalance. And if time allows, we would like to cover operational issues as well. So let's begin. So first, we would like to discuss about capital market. In this segment, we would like to explore the revised investment landscape in the context of increased interest rate and also escalated construction costs. These changes obviously prompting investors and developers to rethink their strategy and development plan. So we would like to hear how these factors have impacted your views on investment, development, and also expected return. For instance, we would like to hear adjustment to capital allocation and investment focus shifting, maybe toward certain hotel segment or geographical area. Since this is the first time for you to speak, or before we dive into your perspective, please take a moment to introduce yourself briefly. First, your current role, the hotel segment you specialize in, and also the area or expertise. This context will help us understand your deep insight and also specific challenges to your organization. Is that all good? So maybe, Gary, could you kick off?
Hello, everyone. Gary Kwok, CEO of X Management Partners. We are a real estate investor focusing on private credit and also real estate. Japan hospitality is definitely one of our key focus right now.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event. I'm Yutaro Nakadate, the director of Capitol Investment, which is Hong Kong-based real estate private equity firm. Our focus is the Japan hospitality market. We currently only do investment in Japan hospitality market. We have acquired 7 properties so far. Unfortunately, fortunately, sorry. Fortunately, we acquired 1 hotels last week, and for our fund 2, we have acquired 2 apartment hotels in July. So I'm very looking forward to talking about the hospitality market with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Takahiro Tsujikawa, and I'm a CEO of the Polaris Holdings. We are the listed company at Tokyo Stock Exchange, and then our main domain business is operating the limited service hotel in Japan and then also in the Philippines. And then in Japan, our main brand is first the Best Western Hotels, our key partners. And also we launched our proprietary brand, which is called Kwok Hotels in 2020, right amid the COVID. And then also we operate the Red Planet branded hotels in the Philippines as well. And then we are still in a growing stage. And then as we made a press release this June, we entered into the business alliance with Minasia, which is another Japanese hotel operator. And so we are looking forward to talking about the hospitality topics in this session.
Thank you very much, everyone. So now we can understand you very much better in the context of your own experience and expertise. So maybe, Gary, could you talk about your revised maybe strategy for?
Yeah, thank you. Recently, we get asked this question a lot: interest rate, exchange rate, et cetera, construction costs, et cetera. Of course, these are very important factors in determining how we invest. But I always like to shift it back to the most important part, which is the fundamentals, right? Hotel is brick and mortar, but also is a business. for whatever business we do, we need to look at the supply and demand. Personally, I think based on data, demand for Japan hospitality is definitely very strong. It's got a great product, as we all know here. And definitely everyone loves to come to Japan. The price is relatively very attractive for coming to Japan for tourism. And it's very high quality, so demand is definitely there. Supply side, during COVID, there's a lot of construction being stopped. As a lot of the construction industry expertise here, definitely to build a hotel, you need approximately 2.5 years, quickest. So, and with the rise of construction cost, demand continues, supply continues to be very restrained, and supply and demand factor is definitely very supportive of the hospitality industry in Japan.
Thank you. Nakadate-san, please.
Yes, so as for the development cost, construction cost, yes, the construction cost is skyrocketing. It is happening in the market. However, our investment strategy is more, we focus on the middle-sized existing properties, business economy class, and the lifestyle hotels. So, when it comes to newly constructing the hotels, properties, yes, we should be more concerned about the returns which we can give to our investors. However, when it comes to existing properties, we are more keen on renovating, repositioning, and rebranding those hotels. So, for example, we see a lot of potential investment in Japan, including city areas but also regional areas, which are operated by local operators, which relatively the performance is not really good. But by changing the positioning and branding, we believe that we would be able to improve their performance, which means we can add values to those properties. We are more interested in that kind of play. So when it comes to construction cost, we are not so concerned about it. And when it comes to the interest rate, we feel that Bank of Japan will gradually increase the interest rate. This is because as a local Japanese, we saw a tide of the economy. What I mean is the tide has changed. Previously, as you may all know, the lost decades, like 30 years. But now, after Prime Minister Kishida's policy, now the inflation is happening and wages increasing. So now economy is getting better and better, I believe. So in relation to this, the Bank of Japan will consider to increase interest rates. However, there is a momentum, like different momentum here about the economy. So they will not kill this momentum. So we feel the interest rate will increase step by step. And this is already, we considered this in our financial modeling, and in relation to, in combination with the improvement and increase of the ADR occupancy rate and the number of inbound tourists and domestic demand, we still feel the Japanese market is very, very good market.
Thank you. Tsujikawa-san, please.
Okay, as these guys explained, we are of course more conscious about the interest rate hike and the construction cost increase. But on the flip side, now the beauty of the hotel investment, which is works for the hedge of the inflation, the cost increase. I think this beauty is more highlighted under this uncertain situations. And so, in terms of investment, we are back to the basics. So, location or the room configuration and, then, the supply demand balance in each location. So, when we see these, basic terms of the investment, there shall be, a potential upside for the selected opportunities. So we are keen to, pick up the best properties which provides promising returns. And then now, and I think we will talk about, supply issues, but if we pick up the right properties, there shall be, potential to beat, competitors. And then now as an operator, we'll, really keen to look for these opportunities and then with the right owners to overcome these, uncertain market situations right now.
Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you for sharing your insight. So it's pretty obvious that interest rate, especially or construction cost, increase noticeably, but there are still many ways to countermeasure these obstacles. So then we are moving to second topic, or government policy and tourism strategy. They play a pivotal role in shaping the hospitality sector. Or, for example, government seems like or would like to focus on high-end stuff, also maybe open up opportunity in national park, which has not been really available before. And with post-pandemic growth and also these tourism effort, there are many numerous elements at play. So we'd like to explore the strategy you have developed, or maybe you develop very soon to navigate this policy. And we would like to hear which specific regulation or tourism strategy or initiative you're most interested in, or maybe you have any particular policy or area you are closely monitor, or maybe you have some collaboration with local government to enhance tourism competitiveness, or maybe address to any issue like over-tourism. So, Gary, could you start? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's definitely very encouraging to see the Japanese government ever since 2011, early 2011, so on, be very encouraging for international tourists to arrive. I mean, we all know that for tourism industry in Japan, majority is got a very good domestic tourism base. Of course, part of the important growth is from international tourism, and of course, Japan has a overall big picture macro policy to increase to approximately 60 million by end of 2030, right? We hope that obviously this number can achieve much earlier. In terms of policy, right, what is encouraging and I would like to see is there's two major ones. One is actually helping investor and like ourselves and operators for international workers, right? We all know that hiring people, hiring good staff, and English speaking to cater for international tourists is very difficult. With more sort of relaxing international labor policies for Japan, is definitely will be very helpful and encouraging for all of us. That's first. Secondly, we all know that Japan, in terms of tourism, it's got huge depth, right? People talk about major cities, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Fukuoka, Sapporo, etc. But what we all know is that the second, third tier cities, outside all these big cities, actually the tourism product is very, very good, right? What we should, all of us investors, operators, should work with local governments, national governments, local governments to find ways to promote these cities as well. This is very important for the long-term sustainable growth of Japanese tourism.
Thank you. So firstly, I would like to point out the fact that the Japanese government aims at increasing the number of inbound tourists up to 60 million by 2030. And this is we believe, achievable number, and especially considering the number of inbound tourists coming to Japan in this last 3 months, it's all record. So we feel that the number will, the country itself can achieve that before 2030. But at the same time, this is the topic, maybe we will talk about it later, but the new supply hotel rooms is quite limited in Japan. So this imbalance should be tackled and should be addressed by the government, I feel, and I will talk about later. And the second thing is currently the new prime minister was elected, and the Prime Minister Ishiba also talked about activating the local economy in regional areas like Chihososai. It's like a local economy activation. And the Japanese government designated the 35 national parks as a high-end hotel resort. And this type of local economy contribution policy, it should be addressed, I think. Especially in Tokyo, in Osaka, in Kyoto. Tokyo is okay, but especially in Kyoto, there's a lot of over-tourism problems there. So we feel that the Japanese government wants the inbound tourists to disperse the inbound tourists to local areas, not of course Tokyo, Osaka, yes, but not to other areas. So we are more our target areas include our target is all Japan, but including of course Sapporo, Fukuoka, Nagoya, those areas, but also the second tier cities, as Gary said. And as a Japanese, I feel potential in those areas. I'm from countryside. I'm from Aomori, but this year I visited my parents, and there were so many people for Nebuta Festival. And personally, I went to Okinawa and other Okinawa areas, and I flew from Seoul, but the plane was full, and there was a very long queue. So currently the situation where the people pay attention to those areas is really on demand, I think, and we should pay attention to those areas too in terms of investment.
Okay, first, in terms of the inbound, as you said, there's still the 60 million. The number is also the target, but also the government is promoting to increase each consumption amount, and then also targeting for the longer stay for the inbound. And then I think these two, not only pursuing the number but also the quality. I think this trend is quite beneficial for the healthier or sustainable growth for the overall hotel and then tourism market to overcome this over tourism issue. And then also, as you touched on, the diversification of the destination, which the government is also promoting, is quite plus for another sustainable growth. And also the this spread of the destination is provides a good opportunity for the new recruitment or creating new jobs in a local economy, which would benefit for the overall Japan industry itself. And so this type of trend shift is quite supportive for the market growth. And then these initiatives to enhance the tourism for the more rural area is given on the back of these initiatives. The local governments or local cities are promoting their own promotion for their own destination, like the Setouchi DMO and these type of local activities. And this on this combination of this government support plus the local cities initiatives will I think it will bring the another upside of the tourism industry itself.
Thank you very much for sharing your views. So far, I believe the government has been pretty supportive for the promotion of Japan tourism, but hopefully it will continue. And there are a few areas where over-tourism becomes an issue, but as these panelists said, there are still so many places which have not discovered yet by inbound tourists. So there should be a lot of opportunity going forward as well. So we are going to next topic. Next topic is supply-demand imbalance and the market or future market outlook. I think we have some panelists already have touched upon the issue of construction cost, or maybe restraint or supply, or coming from the construction issues. This is definitely an issue, and supply-demand imbalance, but it really depends on by region and hotel class. And for example, 30% of inbound tourists come to Japan in a group with 3 or more people, but Japan doesn't have so many large rooms. So there are many supply-demand imbalance issues. So in your view, where do you see maybe oversupply or undersupply maybe going forward? And what trend do you foresee in new hotel opening or closure or maybe conversion, especially in the context of construction issues? And in that context, how should you position yourself to consider these shifting demand patterns? Thank you.
Supply and demand. I think earlier I did mention that currently demand is very strong. And of course, new supply is getting less, right? Obviously, because of, as I mentioned, the construction costs, and also in the past, COVID stopped construction. Just rewinding back to before COVID, 2019, from 2017 to 2019, of course, Japan tourism has started growing a lot from, I think, 8 million in 2011 right to 2019, which is at 32 million. What we saw was that after the strong growth of from 2011 to 2015, investors start piling in, obviously because they saw the number, and there are definitely certain areas and cities that had so-called oversupply to a certain extent. That includes Osaka, Kyoto, to a certain extent Kanazawa, for example, just name a few. Of course, there are a lot of hotels, for example, in Osaka during COVID, that's being converted into other usage, etc. So currently, of course, everywhere has a lot of supply, but I do believe that demand at this moment can cover all this high supply.
So I mentioned about the supply and demand a little bit before, and according to our study research, the overall hotel room supply in Japan is 0.65%, and compared to other Asia Pacific countries, for example, in Vietnam it will be 7%. And Malaysia 6%, then mainland China approximately 4%, but it's quite limited overall. But what I mean is not specific areas. For example, Tokyo is the new supply in next 3 years is not really much. I mean, it was at 1.2 or something, but the new supply in Kyoto and Sapporo are quite high. Sorry, I'm sorry, I forgot the numbers, but they're relatively higher. So it is important to make a investment strategy depending on the areas by reference to those numbers. So, for example, our investment strategy is mainly making investment in existing properties and rebranding, repositioning, renovating, and adding values. But for example, the Okinawa or other regional areas, the land price on the construction cost we can save. So we are very willing to consider the future forward commitment or future cost, rebranding, project, construction projects. And when it comes to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, especially Kyoto, it's quite difficult because of the regulations, because of the residents. It is a little bit difficult to do the constructions. So we are more into rebranding, innovation strategies. So, but overall, the future supply is generally limited. So in terms of the ESG perspective, our preference is to find the good properties which we can improve the hotel performance and to realize the investment returns by implementing our strategies.
Yes, I agree that there will be a new supply, but then low single-digit increase in the coming years is pretty modest, compared with other APAC cities, and then given the potential increase of the inbound plus domestic tourism recovery. And also in terms of the investment, we need to see in more micro that what sort of the new supply will be consisted of. So such as Kyoto or Okinawa, there are more luxury stuff coming in, but limited number of the 2 to 3 star hotels. And also Osaka, there shall be another increase of the luxury products, but main increase will be limited service hotels, which are major business domains. So we need to see really careful and pay attention to the new supply, and then how the demand will vary in light of this new supply. And then also the overall the demand will the supply will increase, but in the limited, the more rural areas, the developers or the investors are still very cautious in investing in the non-major cities, not Tokyo or Osaka, Kyoto, but rural cities. There shall be a little bit more risk, and then they don't have any sort of not all of, but they're quite limited track records. So we as operator, we operate around 30 hotel throughout Japan. So we have connection to get the real actual comp data, so that we can may provide sort of reliable projection backed up with a track record of the competitor hotels. So we are supporting the developers who are keen to move into these new cities, and then in the rural cities there shall be a little bit more modest or no new supply coming into the market. So, in terms of the competitiveness, we are sort of more in a good position to compete compared with other Tokyo or Osaka red ocean market. So we are trying to work with the partners to expand our footprint, and also the create the new investment opportunities to this sort of suburb areas in the market.
Thank you very much for sharing your views. And we see more and more hotel everywhere now, but seems like we need more of them, and there are more demand than those supply, and probably especially in rural area, supply may create demand. Many people want to go but cannot go, especially to rural area. And seems like we have time to cover another topic, and also we are welcome to have your questions as well from the floor. And the last topic is operational issues or workforce dynamics, or namely labor shortages. So labor shortage across the globe, across the industry, seems like it's prevalent issues, and maybe even more so in Japanese hospitality sector. With increased competition for workforce, or how is your organization addressing to labor shortage or those issues? We are interested in hearing any innovative approach or maybe new workforce strategy or recruiting strategy or any automation or technology adoption or any effort to retain or even upskill staff.
Thank you.
Please.
Definitely, labor shortage is a global phenomenon. During COVID, a lot of the industry workers have left the industry and did not return. Well, of course, that includes in Japan. Labor workforce is, as I mentioned earlier, shortage is an issue, will be continued as an issue. Government support is definitely very important. Making it much easier for international workers to come into our industry definitely will be very important, and it's very encouraging that we have seen that happening. That's number one. Number two, I would say is, and that ties to the Japanese economy, which is inflation. We do see the wages is increasing, which is a good thing from a macroeconomic perspective and also the industry perspective. Younger workers are more encouraged to enter the industry. And most importantly, they see hope, right? They see, and that includes the sort of corporate governance and reform of the industry. I remember in the past, and still a lot, I believe still a lot in the traditional hotel companies, right? Salary increase is actually based on age, right? Every year you got 1,000, a few thousand yen increase. But because of the corporate governance reform, we see that shifting much more towards bonus-based, performance-based, etc. That's number two. And of course, number three will be the smart use of technology, self-check-in, and also smart apps, etc. That would help us in be much more efficient in working with the labor force. So thank you.
What we are currently seeing in the market is the development automation and the cutting cost by adapting the automation or the efficient hotel operations. So, for example, it is happening. For example, smart check-in type hotels or apartment type hotels where the human resources is not really necessary. There only just one or two staffs operate the hotel. Currently, there's this type of assets. I mean, hotels is supplied to the market, and we believe that this type of asset is very good match with our investment policies because we consider various type of assets, but our target is more middle-sized business economic class hotels. So in collaboration with the hotel operators, we are willing to adapt those types of methods into the hotel and increase the returns or the hotel performance. And the second is when it comes to macro, I agree with Gary. As you may all know, if you work in Japan, we really need human resources and the employees. So to tackle with this issue, the immigration or international young talents we need. So. And the new government, as far as I know, they are trying to tackle with this problem. So, by combining our strategy and the Japanese government policy, I think this will be
resolved?
Yeah, we are the hotel operator, but unfortunately, unlike the global hotel operators, we are not yet to invest in the sort of DX or automation of the operation. So we implemented the automated check-in machine into some hotels, but unfortunately, that doesn't, let us, reduce the material human resource cost. So we are now still implementing the pre-organic strategies. So first, increase the scale of merit is working, and then our rooms under management grew about 2.5 times before the pre-COVID. So at the moment, for some, presidents think that, human resource is a risk, but, for hotel operating company, these human resource is assets. And so, we operate a couple of some hotels in one region, like Osaka or Fukuoka or Sapporo. And then, with this clustering and then sharing the human resource staff and also the general managers, that will, contribute to, the stable human manning and then, risk hedge of the, short time, manning labor resources. So, this scale merit, pursuing the scale merit is a really critical way to, tackle with the labor shortage. And then the second is, as Gary-san mentioned, it's pretty hard to, dramatically change the, payroll system. But we, to increase the retention, especially for the younger staff, we are gradually adjusting our payroll system to more incentivize the people who contribute to the maximization of the revenue and GOP. So we need to adapt some of the base salary increase, but to change the bonus a little bit to be able to reward for the outperforming persons, and then this type of the changing the retention system is now quite working to retain the good talent and then also attract the new talent by offsetting the base salary increase for the better operation and also the productivity improvement.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your views. Very helpful. And labor shortage is definitely prevalent issues, but seems like they use the issue rather than as opportunity to enhance their strategy and operational capacity. So far, we have not received any question yet, and seems like that we have just finished our session on time, beautifully within 40 minutes. So I would like to conclude this session. I think we have learned a lot. We have covered many sessions, and you may need some time to digest what they said, together with maybe your sumptuous lunch next to this room. Thank you very much for listening us. Thank you.